Good day, folks. Sean here from Air Photography. So, the other day I got a really interesting question, and the question basically was whether something like the Hover Air X1 Pro or Pro Max could replace their Skydio drone. They currently own a Skydio, but it's been giving them some problems, and they're not quite sure whether to go with something like a Hover or try and find another used Skydio. Skydio exited the consumer drone market a few years back, so it's kind of left a void for those who want a drone specifically for tracking. The Skydio excelled when it came to obstacle avoidance and tracking. Now, the Skydio and the Hover are quite a bit different when it comes to the way they perform and the type of drone they are. But I think for some users, now not for every user, but I do believe that for some users, the Hover could definitely replace their Skydio. Now, as mentioned, one of the Skydio's big features was its incredible obstacle avoidance. I still don't think there's any drone on the market that had the obstacle avoidance capabilities as the Skydio. The Hover here has very little when it comes to obstacle avoidance. It does have some at the back when flying in reverse, but it is kind of mediocre, and it doesn't quite work the same way. But I think when it comes to tracking, even though they attack tracking a little bit differently, I think the Hover could be a good contender. Now, I'm only speaking on my user experience, the way I use my drones. I can't speak on behalf of everybody. Now, the problem I had with my Skydio when I had it, when I was using it for tracking, is that it was a little bit unpredictable the way it would move. Sometimes I felt I was really never in control of it. Now, of course, when you're using it autonomously for tracking, you're not in control, but it just was very erratic sometimes, and it's more because it was doing its job. The obstacle avoidance was avoiding obstacles, which made it kind of jump around a little bit. Sometimes the footage was a little bit unusable just because it was all over the place. And sometimes it was almost kind of scary the way it was moving. It would soar around pretty quickly, and sometimes it would get into areas where you really didn't want it to get. Whereas the Hover drone, because it doesn't have any obstacle avoidance, it essentially follows you in the exact path you're taking. So if you're avoiding obstacles, for the most part, it will avoid obstacles as well. And that translates to much smoother footage. It's not flying around as aggressively, so the footage tends to be a little bit smoother in my opinion. And for me, the way I use my drones when it comes to tracking, which is basically tracking me on an e-bike when I'm hiking, sometimes on my dirt bike, the footage just tends to work a little bit better. Now, the Skydio did do a much better job when it comes to tracking from the front or side. The Hover does offer front tracking and side tracking, but it is kind of limited and it doesn't work all that well in some scenarios, depending on what you're doing. If you're just going for a casual hike through a forest, it works quite well. But at a high rate of speed, if you're on something like a mountain bike or an e-bike, sometimes it doesn't work all that well tracking from the front. But the other benefit to using something like the Hover here compared to the Skydio when it comes to tracking is due to its cage design. The Skydio's blades were completely exposed, so that made it a little susceptible to hitting small tree branches. The obstacle avoidance on the Skydio didn't pick up small tree branches or wires very well, so sometimes that could become an issue, especially if you're tracking yourself through a forest. Quite often it would hit a ghost branch, and then of course it would crash down to the ground. But because of the closed props on the Hover drone, quite often when you do hit a branch, it'll just bounce off it and continue tracking you. Worst case, if it does hit the ground, it's actually pretty durable. I've crashed mine several times, and so far I haven't done any damage to it. Now, I'm not saying it will never be damaged. There are lots of posts on Facebook and different groups where they've damaged it. The other thing I like about the Hover when tracking is that I feel a little bit more in control with it, especially if you happen to come across somebody. Now, you should never use autonomous tracking around people because, you're not in control of the drone and you don't want it to fly into somebody. But with the Skydio, it was a little louder, a little more obtrusive when it came to people. If you're riding down a bike path and there's nobody around, but all of a sudden you come up to somebody, it was a little bit harder to get a hold of the drone, put it in a safe spot, or land it. Whereas a Hover, because essentially it's following right behind you, since you stop, the drone stops, you can get off, put your hand out, and it will just go ahead and land in your hand. So I always feel a little bit more control with it, and especially when you are around people. Now that goes into my next point, which is the ease of use and ease of deployment of the Hover compared to something like the Skydio. The Skydio is actually significantly bigger. Now I don't own my Skydio anymore, so I can't do a side-by-side comparison, but it is quite a bit more cumbersome, so it's a little bit harder to take along with you. This Hover drone folds up and it literally fits in your pocket. You don't need any extra controllers or anything to use it. You just pull it out of your pocket. You don't even have to get off the bike if that's what you're going to be tracking yourself on. You just unfold it, press a button, and it's tracking you, and off you go. So it's super easy and quick to deploy, and for a lot of people that can be really important. When something is too bulky and inconvenient, you tend not to use it as much. Now, both drones actually offered a beacon for enhanced tracking. The Skydio had a beacon, and the Hover has a beacon as well. Now, the Hover one is a little more advanced. It actually has a preview window in it, so you can always make sure that the shot is framed correctly. Both beacons allowed for enhanced tracking and changing settings in different flight modes. But with the Hover beacon, you also have the ability to add a single joystick that essentially turns it into a motion controller. Again, with a preview, you can do some basic maneuvers with the joystick. And again, you can go ahead and change settings. You also have the option of adding a second joystick to it. And then essentially, it becomes a traditional controller. Again, has a built-in screen. That's going to give you a more traditional drone flight and a little bit more precision if you're trying to capture something cinematic. And on top of that, you can also mount your smartphone, and that's going to give you a larger preview window if that's something that you need. So it's a pretty handy device. I highly recommend it if you are going to be purchasing a Hover and you're going to be using it for tracking. It's super beneficial when you have it mounted on a handlebar if you're tracking on a bike or an e-bike. You can always have a quick preview to see if the drone is still following you, which can be a problem. Sometimes, if the drone's a ways back, it's hard to hear. You don't know if it's run into something or if it's stopped tracking you. This way you always know that it is tracking you. Now, another advantage that the Skydio drone had over the Hover is that it could fly and track you at a higher rate of speed while offering obstacle avoidance. So for some people, especially if you're doing extreme mountain biking or any activity with a high rate of speed, something like the Skydio was much better suited for that. But the Hover does a pretty good job when it comes to tracking at a high rate of speed. It can track at 42 kilometers an hour, which for a lot of activities, that's more than adequate. And it even has a speed boost, so if you're doing something, it can actually boost up to 60 kilometers an hour for a short period of time. So for many people, that will work just fine. Now, when it comes to image quality, I think both do a pretty good job. Skydio, is a little dated compared to some of today's modern drones from DJI. You're not going to get the image quality out of the Hover or the Skydio that you can from an Air 3. I think even the Mini 4 Pro is a little bit better when it comes to image quality. But both do a pretty good job. I'd say they're pretty equal. Now, one benefit of a Hover, if you get the Pro Max version, it actually has a larger sensor than that of the Skydio. And you can actually film in 8K, which is pretty incredible for a small little drone like this. So yeah, folks, those are just my opinions on whether something like the Hover could replace a Skydio if you're in the market for a new drone for tracking. Of course, as mentioned, it's all going to depend on how you use it and what you're going to be tracking and the type of activities you're going to be doing. But for me, when it comes to tracking, like I said, I ride e-bikes, dirt bikes, I do a lot of hiking, I'm in and around a lot of trees. Something like the Hover does perform a little bit better in those scenarios, in my opinion. Well, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it had value. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.